Can you imagine anything more difficult than having to defend yourself or your family while surrounded by potential invaders? In desperate times, people will do desperate things, so don't forget about having a means of self-defense handy in case of a SHTF situation. Setting aside some ammunition and a reliable weapon is a great way to ensure the safety of you and your family in the event of an emergency. It's a given that one of each major civilian classification of firearms will be needed: a handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun. So our task here is to pick an ideal group of 10. Without further ado, let's get started. Scavenger 6. So for me, the best all-around weapon to carry in a bug-out situation would be the Scavenger 6 by Ralston Arms. Designed by one of the most creative survival inventor designer, Tim Ralston, it's a weapon that can shoot 21 different calibers. In a survival situation, you never know what kind of ammo will be available. It's very likely you'll sooner or later expend whatever ammo you've stored, and you can't always carry all the ammo with you. But if your weapon will shoot whatever is around, you're well ahead of the power curve. And in a crisis, that could be the difference between surviving and pushing up daisies. Kel-Tec Sub-2000. In my opinion, the Kel-Tec Sub-2000 is the perfect urban SHTF weapon, especially if you own and carry a Glock. Why do you say, especially if you carry a Glock? Because the Sub-2000 has the ability to use Glock mags. You now have a rifle that folds in half, weighs around 4 pounds, shares magazine and ammo with your carry pistol, takes 33-round mags that are small and lightweight compared to an AR or AK, and can be carried around in a small backpack. For the uninitiated, the Kel-Tec Sub-2000 is a 29.5-inch pistol-chambered carbine that is available in 9mm and 40 S&W. The Sub-2000 is a blowback semi-automatic rifle with its operating spring located in the stock. The rifle naked weighs in at 4 pounds and can be folded in half at the breech to a length of 16 inches, which fits most backpacks and messenger bags. The rifle feeds from a grip-located magazine and is sold in several configurations that take magazines from different pistol manufacturers. Mossberg 500. If you could only have one gun in your SHTF arsenal, what would it be? A pistol, a hunting rifle, an automatic rifle, a muzzle loader. Many would say that the most important gun to have in your arsenal is a shotgun, either in 12 gauge or 20 gauge. The most popular pump-action shotgun of all time, the Mossberg 500, earns an automatic entry in this list, without question. Since its introduction in the 1960s, over 10 million Mossberg 500s have been sold to civilians, police departments, and militaries around the world. The Model 500 is a basic and durable pump shotgun that is offered at a very reasonable price. The safety is ambidextrous and located on the top of the receiver, while the slide lock release is located behind the trigger guard. It is available in a very wide variety of barrel lengths, stock types, finishes, sizes, and gauges. Multiple variants of the 500 have also been produced, with the two most successful being the 590 and the 590A1. The 590 utilizes a redesigned magazine tube for easier cleaning, while the 590A1 replaces the polymer trigger guards and safeties of the 590 with steel ones. The 590A1 also has a heavier receiver, bayonet lug, and a more corrosion-resistant, parkerized finish in place of a blued finish. However, Mariner stainless steel versions are made for all three variants. AK-47. The AK-47 is my genuine pick for the most reliable SHTF gun. Why an AK-47 or similar rifle over all the other newer and ostensibly better ones on the market today? The AK-47 still delivers the best possible combination of reliability, resistance to abuse, ease of maintenance, user-friendliness, and availability out of any other modern rifles that we have access to. Also, there is no better rifle whatsoever for use in bitterly cold weather that is a common feature where I live. Not for nothing, the classic 7.62 by 39mm cartridge offers an ideal combination of affordability, power, reasonable range, and effectiveness against a variety of materials. Against a soft target, 5.56 is generally a better bet when it comes to pure lethality, and it is definitely softer shooting. But I have grown to respect the performance of 7.62 against automobile bodywork and glass, as well as lighter building materials. Believe me when I tell you that this is an informed decision, even if it is one that is slightly heretical among my peers, who are all dyed-in-the-wool M4 or M16 guys who consider the AK and its derivatives clunky, inefficient, and generally just the gun of the bad guys. The AK-47 is easily the most durable, versatile, and reliable semi-automatic rifle on the market. For this reason alone, it's the rifle that every serious prepper should own. Glock G40. When we get into the do-it-all guns, you are often best served by long guns when you think of home defense, hunting, and survival. But what happens when we introduce concealed carry into the equation? Well, some handguns tend to do it all, and do it all well. The Glock G40 offers a very modern pistol design, chambered in the stout and capable 10mm cartridge. You can't expect to get rifle results, but it delivers adequate performance with much less recoil than many Magnum handguns. There are other platforms available, but for the reliability, capacity, and modularity, the Glock G40 is hard to beat for a hunting application. It is essentially the longer-barreled version of the commonly carried G20. That longer barrel will give you a touch more velocity and accuracy, as well as smooth out the recoil a bit. If not available on the shelf, any shop worth their salt can ready a G40 to accept a red dot sight, a great benefit for hunting or self-defense. Although the G40 and even G20 are on the large side for concealed carry, they are a great option for self-defense where practical. The 10mm is available in a wide variety of loads, and these days, ammunition is plentiful. AR-15 Daniel Defense DD-M4 V7. I've seen all the debates, and yes, all styles of guns have their pros and cons. But when it comes to a specific SHTF scenario, the AR-15 is not only capable of saving your life, but also dramatically increase your survival timeline depending on how prepped you are in every way. My overall pick for a high-end AR-15 goes to the 16-inch DD-M4 V7, which sports a free-float handguard and a softer shooting mid-length gas system. I've put a few hundred rounds through this rifle, and it hasn't complained once. Beyond reliably chewing through Cellar and Bellet 55-grain M193 like a champ, the DD-M4 spits brass at a near-perfect 4 o'clock from the shooter. I can hear casings landing on one another behind me after a few rounds. It's just a remarkably well-tuned rifle. The DD-M4 is an impressive example of the kinds of rifles that have made Daniel Defense a household name. It feels like a high-end watch and runs, points, and performs as well as anything on the market today.